Well, we are 11:59. I'm going to take my mask off. Welcome to First Presbyterian Church of Corvallis, our Advent Recital series for 2021. It's a joy to be streaming this to you who are at home or wherever you may be and enjoying this time, or perhaps you're watching this at a later date as we are recording. We have a select invited group here who don't normally get to come out. And we have a wonderful caregiving team who helped bring people who have more difficulty getting to church, and also just want to make sure that we had a protected environment for them. So we are so grateful for those who brought people and for those who have come. It's good to see you. Wonderful to have you in the sanctuary with us as we prepare to hear Join We Now, presented by the Carillon Revelry Handbell Choir, directed by Laura Czar, who will also obviously be on a harp, which is always a treat. And it's a special treat to have Ella Jones here playing on violin. When I started 8 years ago, she was in our office working as our office assistant and office manager, and she had her first child, who is now 8. Yeah. So, they're all here. She's had a couple more since then. So it's great to be here and have her here as well. Just a special thank you to Judy Hedges, who has, thank you, Judy, for organizing all of these and for the music ministry. We will have 2 more after this. Steve Mathis and Dao Ye have recorded a wonderful recital that will be a week from today. And then the choir has a recital, a mixture of ones we've done before, as well as some new ones, so new pieces. And that will be in 2 weeks. So we have, that will be the Tuesday before Christmas Eve. And we do have a Christmas Eve service at 6:30 on Christmas Eve, which is live and streaming for those of you at home. And that will be lessons and carols. And so this Sunday at 1 o'clock, we have a service of solace after our 10 a.m. worship service, which is both are able to be attended live or at home streaming. And so I hope that you find, wherever you may be in this season, a place where you can come and know that we are close to home and that God is one who is with us. If you'd like to support these efforts, we do have offering boxes at the back of our sanctuary, or if you send them in or give them online, just be sure to mark them for the Advent recitals. It does help fund the various expenses that go into preparing these and publicizing them. And so we welcome and are grateful for anything you may give towards these efforts. Well, I've said enough. It's a joy to be here and a joy to have people in the sanctuary and to have music. And so let's welcome the Carillon Revelry Handbell Choir and Laura and Ella as we join them in this effort.
The magic signal on the microphone is working. Thank you, and welcome to this program of Joining Together. It is such a delight to once again be with the members of the Bell Choir and to make music together. So this is a celebration of starting to come together again. We'd like to continue the program with Dona Nobis Pacem, which is arrangement that I did actually for a family friend who lives in Boston and has a little bell choir there. And he asked me to write this piece. So I thought, well, what a perfect way to start the holiday season with a plea for peace. About it. There's so many really cool effects in that piece, and I thought maybe this might be a good chance to just show some of the cool effects that we have. So I'm going to ask Anne to demonstrate. This is kind of impromptu. We had what? Oh, is that better? Yeah. Okay.
You don't need to turn it on and off. Just leave it on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. So I'm going to ask Anne to just demonstrate a couple of those effects that we just did. And we had the ring touch, which is where you ring the bell and then you touch it onto the table. Do you want to show how we did that? And that's really fun when we do it all together. And then there's the Mart lifts, which is where you thwack it into the table and lift it up right away. Doesn't that sound cool? And then there's the martellato, where you just thwack it into the table and let it sit there. It's a very percussive sort of sound.
I call it a thwomp.
A thwonk. We have all kinds of nicknames for these techniques. What we don't have any swings in this concert. Do you want to, well, a swing, which has a cool effect because it's sort of like a wah-wah pedal or something like that. But we don't do that in this concert. We also have thumb damps, which you just heard in that other piece where there's a lot of, where you dampen the bell with your thumb. And it has a very closed-in effect. We also do in, I think a couple pieces from now, we're going to use some mallet work and do mallets, which is also very fun.
I also have.
That's pretty fun. Anything that I'm missing that we're doing?
Well, there's also. That's pretty.
Isn't that cool? It's just a lot of things you can do with the handbells. Oh, we forgot about the chimes, but you'll hear the chimes in due course, I'm sure. You'll see that. So we'd like to continue with O Come All Ye Faithful. Did I miss something?
Talking about singing bells.
Oh.
Different than me, though.
It's like your finger on the edge of the wine glass kind of thing. Very cool. That'll be our next program. So we'll continue with O Come All Ye Faithful. here's where I have to say a few words because we're rearranging who's doing what where. We have a couple of pieces that have only a few bells, and so we're shifting up into the upper range of the bell choir here. And we have a couple of pieces that are arranged for 12 bells. The first one is the First Noel, and then after that we'll go into We Three Kings, which has some featured percussion, but you'll see that when we come to it. So here's the two pieces for 12 bells. another transition here while we move around. I'd like to invite Ella Jones back to the area here for. Oh wait, no, this is my solo. Eek. Okay, forget it. Never mind. I'd like to invite Phyllis to play Sleigh Bells. You can't have a song about a troika without sleigh bells. So fortunately, she happened to have this beautiful set. And so yes, we'll play this piece. But in the middle of the sleigh ride, you'll notice something happens. The motion stops. It's like you're coming along, then all of a sudden you stop and get out of the sleigh, and you go, and there's the Christ child in the manger. And there's this rocking song right in the middle of the troika ride. So then you adore the Christ child, and you get back in the sleigh ride and continue on your way. So here's troika with the rocking song. Now I'd like to invite Ella. So we have a bunch of Celtic songs in store for you. The first piece of this first set, Cloth for the Cradle, originally it had different words to it, which was a little bit racy, kind of a raggle-taggle gypsy-o sort of theme to it. But I like these Advent words, which is cloth for the cradle, cradle for the child for our every joy and sorrow. Find him a shawl that is woven by us all to welcome the Lord of each tomorrow. Darkness and light and all that's known by sight, silence and echo fading, weave into one a welcome for the sun, set earth its own maker serenading. I really like the imagery of cloth. It's so essential to the Highland traditions. So I thought it was just that whole imagery of us all weaving a cloth to welcome the Christ child. Then we'll continue with Christmas Day in the Morning, which is from the Shetland Islands. Then a Manx piece from the Isle of Man, which is just, it's called When Christ Was Born. It's kind of a little bit of a, sort of a party piece, but then we end this set with a real rips-roaring party piece, a reel called the Christmas Eve Reel. to talk a little bit about the next piece we're going to do, which is called Rorate. The interesting thing about this piece is it's written, the words are both in Latin and in English. So there's kind of a mixture, which was sort of a thing back then, and it's very flowery language. You can imagine the Scottish lords sitting around talking about all this flowery language, which is Rorate celi de super, heavens, distill your balmy shower. For now is risen the bright day star, from the rose of Mary, flower of flowers. The clear sun, whom no cloud devours, surmounting Phoebus in the east, is come of his heavenly towers, et nobis puer natus est. So talking about the Christ child being born to us. And it's just a beautiful melody that Ella and I would like to share with you. This next piece is kind of fun to work on. We call it Creepy Green Sleeves. It's actually a waltz which was inspired by the Prokofiev ballet Cinderella, which I got to play at the Holt Center about a month ago. And this waltz in the Prokofiev was running through my head, and I thought, what am I going to write for this piece for Ella and I to play? And I sat down, and this is sort of what we came up with. I call it the Christ Child's Waltz, but we call it Creepy Green Sleeves. Oh, just to say that the creepiness kind of is a foreshadow. To me, it represents the foreshadow of Christ being born and kind of the turmoil and tumultuous things that will come of his life. Well, we're switching gears here. I'd like to take advantage and introduce the members of the bell choir. Down here in the bass department, we have Larry and Ann Hubble, and they're holding up the bass, keeping us all steady. And then Sharon Edwards, whom you've probably seen in many other hats in this church. And we're especially happy to have her playing bells with us. And then we have Cheryl Kaufman. We're so glad that you're here. Teresa, and thank you for, Lisa Curry. I'm standing in front. There's nowhere to be. So, yes, Lisa. And then Bob is stepping in. He retired from the bell choir a year ago, and now he just can't get rid of us. Just has to come back. And Phyllis Lind holding up the high-end bells. She plays 4 in hand, which is an amazing feat if you've been watching her. So we'll continue on with, I think we do, Good Christian Friends Rejoice. So this will be, and you'll get to see some mallets in this piece. thank you all for joining us on this afternoon of Advent music. We'd like to invite you to join us on this last piece. We'd like to play for you Silent Night with the full force of the bells and violin and harp. And we wish you a very Merry Christmas and hope that you can join us for the next couple of Advent recitals.